What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we are here with a breakdown of game number 1 for the World Series between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays coming in as pretty heavy underdogs according to some sources, but you know, David versus Goliath, as Ernie Clement said best, David won in the end. So we're gonna go over game 1. If you're excited for this one, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. So some of the key storylines for this one: Bo Bichette is finally back for the World Series. He is playing second base this game, so a lot of people were worried about that because 1, he just came off injury, and 2, he hasn't played a single game of second base since the minor leagues. And the minor leagues was 8 years ago now for Bo Bichette. So that's the inexperience there was scaring some people. Also, Trey Savage getting the start in game number 1. A lot of people liked it. I was a little worried about it, but it was actually pretty good. And can we get to Blake Snell early? The goal that a lot of people said the Blue Jays had to do was to get to Blake Snell and get him out of the game as fast as possible, get to the bullpen, and then they'll finally start scoring some runs. So let's see if any of those things happened. We have been waiting 32 years for this moment. Pre-game stuff, the anthems, and the lineup introductions, those are some of the best ones I've ever seen. So shout out to those guys, because the choir and those guys, they put on a pretty freaking amazing show. So like I said, Trey Savage on the mound for this one. The first batter of the game is none other than Shohei Ohtani, the best player in our generation, if not of all time. Okay, what does Trey Savage do? He strikes out Shohei Ohtani. What are you talking about? Sit down. Gets Mookie Betts to ground out. Freddie Freeman hits a ball to second base. Bo Bichette makes a good play to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So everything's good there, and we get out of the first inning without giving up a run. But now it's time for Blake Snell on the mound. Let's see if we can get to his pitch count. The first 2 batters, he's only thrown a total of 5 pitches. But then the Blue Jays come up. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., he draws a walk, and that brings up Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette gets the 3-0. He sends the ball past the second baseman, and there's runners on first and second, 2 outs still, but we're getting this pitch count up there. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. goes to third on the play, and then Alejandro Kirk comes up and takes like a 10-11 pitch walk. So even though Dalton Varsho does fly out with the bases loaded to end the inning here, Blake Snell leaves the inning with 29 pitches. So the Blue Jays have done a very good job here in the first inning to get to his pitch count and possibly get to the bullpen as soon as they can. All right, Trey Savage comes back out, and after there was runners on first and second with 1 out, there would be a RBI single from Kike Hernandez to bring in Teoscar Hernandez, and it would be 1-0 Dodgers. But that's okay, because it's just 1-0, and we could score more than 1 run, let me tell you that much. So I'm feeling pretty good still at this point. But then Tommy Edman comes up, and he's going to ground the ball to Ernie Clement. Ernie Clement does not have a play because it was weakly hit. Andy Pages is up with the bases loaded. He's going to strike him out on a splitter. He got him swinging. And then it's time once again for Shohei Ohtani. Usually you gotta be scared, but he struck out Ohtani the first at bat of the game. So let's see what happens now. He gets Ohtani to ground out to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He gets out of the jam. That's the one thing I've been seeing a lot from Trey Savage. In the postseason, besides the Yankees game, he's got a lot of trouble with the runners on bases, and he's gotten into a lot of bases loaded jams, but he's very good at getting out of those jams. So he might make you have a heart attack, but he's going to get out of the inning without letting the game blow wide open. So you'll have to see it from Trey Savage and the Blue Jays defense. Now, to start the bottom of the second, the boys were looking to get the lead. Ernie Clement gets us going with a leadoff single. Miles Straw and Andres Gimenez both strike out, which brings up George Springer with 2 outs, and he's going to weakly hit a ball to first base. Freddie Freeman tries to go to second, but there's nobody at second. Ernie Clement is safe. George Springer is safe at first. The throw was late, but for some reason only known to Ernie Clement, he goes to third, tries to catch the defense sleeping, I guess, and he is thrown out at third. I have no idea why he did that, because he's still in scoring position at second base, and there's still 2 outs for Davis Schneider. So I don't know what Ernie Clement was thinking here. Trey Savage comes back out, and the first 2 guys get on, and then Will Smith, with runners on second and first, gets a single into right field. That's going to score Mookie Betts from second, but Freddie Freeman, who was trying to go first to third, he gets caught in a rundown. They take him out. Will Smith takes second, And after all of that, it is 2-0 Dodgers with 1 out in the third inning with a runner on second. So the Dodgers get another run. But luckily after this, they would stop the bleeding once again because it would still be 2-0 after the third inning. Bo Bichette with a tremendous play. They said he couldn't throw. Bo Bichette said, "Shut up, yes I can." He makes a backhanded play, throw on the run to Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who said he can't play second base. A lot of people did, but he said shut up because he said he can play second base, and that was a pretty nice play. Now, for the bottom of the fourth inning, Alejandro Kirk is going to get us going with a long single off the wall because, he's the slowest runner in baseball. And then Dalton Varsho comes up, and the Blue Jays are looking to tie this game, bro. No more wussy swings, bro. The Blue Jays are trying to hit home runs, and that's exactly what Dalton Varsho does. He sends the ball over the center field wall. This got me hyped. This got the Rogers Center hyped. And it's a 2-2 ball game now in game 1 of the World Series. I still can't believe I'm saying that, bro. It don't feel real. This is the big swing we needed. Everybody talks about the big 6th inning, which we're going to get into. But this is the swing that gave the Blue Jays the momentum they needed to continue to fight during this game. So in the 6th inning, Bo Bichette would get on after drawing a walk, and he would get replaced by IKF for a pinch run situation because he's still injured with the knee, obviously. Alejandro Kirk would then send a ball past the second baseman, so it's 2 on with nobody out for Dalton Varsho once again. We all know what he did earlier in the game. Can he do it again? The answer is no, because Blake Snell decides to hit him in the head on a full count pitch, and it loads the bases. Dalton Varsho would be all right afterwards. There would be no fight breakout, and that's gonna be the end of the day for Blake Snell. So Blue Jays, very terrific job at getting him out the game 1 in the 6th inning, because he's been going 9-8 innings the other games in the postseason, and to get some runs off him. It's Ernie Clement, one of the most clutch hitters on the Blue Jays. We got a bunch of clutch hitters on our team, and he's gonna come through without a doubt with the bases loaded, single to left field, keeps the bases moving 90 feet for each runner. It's now 3-2 Blue Jays off the RBI single. You'll have to see it for the boys. And then it's gonna be none other than Nathan Lucas, probably the most clutch hitter on the team besides George Springer after that homer in the game 7 of the ALCS, because whenever there's runners on second and third, it seems like he comes up with a clutch 2 RBI single every single time. Okay, this game, he does not come up with an RBI single, but he comes up with a bases loaded walk, keeps the bases loaded, 90 feet a player once again. It's 4-2 Blue Jays. And then Andres Gimenez, the bottom of this Blue Jays order, I'm telling you, bro, the people will be sleeping on the bottom of the Blue Jays order. It's actually pretty freaking amazing. Andres Gimenez is gonna come through with the RBI single, 90 feet a player, bases still loaded, there's nobody out, by the way, and now it's 5-2 Blue Jays. George Springer would finally be the first out of the inning, but now it's time for Addison Barger. Pinch hit off the bench, bases still loaded, 1 away in a 5-2 game, bottom 6. He has a chance to make history, and he does. It's a grand slam pinch hit for Addison Barger, the first one in World Series history, and it gives the Blue Jays a 9-2 lead in the bottom of the 6th. Come on, man, stop sleeping on the Blue Jays, bruh. They thought this was going to be the other way around for almost every series we played in. They sleeping on us. Everybody said they was going to win this game because Blake Snell on the mound. Blake Snell don't go shit on the team, bro. It's 9-2. Alejandro Kirk comes up later after a runner gets on base. And now it's 11-2. Alejandro Kirk with another home run for the Blue Jays. A 2-run blast. 11-2, bro. Milwaukee Brewers in the NLCS scored a total of 4 runs over the 4 games against the Dodgers. The Blue Jays have 11 runs in a singular game. This is the most insane thing I've ever witnessed in my entire life. And then after Ohtani finally homers after going 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts prior to this home run, that would make it 11-4. But then after this, the Blue Jays would decide to lock in, and Eric Lauer finally. Seems like Eric Lauer has been on the roster for 30 years just to not be used. I don't know what that's all about, but he finally gets an opportunity with the score being 11-4 to shut down the game. And with the Blue Jays down to the final out to secure game 1 of the World Series as a win in their favor, Eric Lauer strikes out Mookie Betts, and the Blue Jays take game 1 of the World Series by a score of 11-4. That was the most fire game I've seen in my entire life, and as in the words of Vladimir Guerrero Jr., let's do it again tomorrow. If you enjoyed this one, make sure to like and subscribe. It's been your boy Brandon. I break down the World Series Toronto Blue Jays. I'll see you next time. Peace.